We are live in a $150 buy-in Friends and Family League. Guys, this is Josh, creator, co-host of Fantasy Trash Talk. You're not going to see me a ton this year, but I'm excited about this draft. Last year I had 20 leagues. This year I'm only doing 3. This is a real draft, 12-team snake. Let's just jump into it. We see the first pick going off the board, Nikola Jokic. This is the guy who won the league last year. This league does not have third-round reversals. This man is a scholar and a gentleman, so he's going to have a tough team getting Nikola Jokic in the first pick, plus those 2 picks to close the second and begin the third round. After that, Wembanyama goes off the board second. No surprises so far. We are going to be picking from the 11th slot in this draft. Now, do I love it? No. Am I going to complain like a little punk bitch? Also, no. We're going to find a way to win because that's what we do at the Fantasy Trash Talk channel. Number 1, we talk trash. Number 2, we find a way to win. Number 3, you're going to have to subscribe to my OnlyFans to find out about number 3 because it's too graphic for YouTube. Okay, talking through this, here's what we're going to do at 11 and then again at 14. We're going to let it come to us. Now, I always sort by ADP. If you guys are a big fan of the channel, you're probably sick of hearing me say this. Oh, we got a little bit of a surprise. Giannis goes 4th, making Luka fall to 5th. That is a little bit of a shakeup. You don't see that every day. Now, me personally, I like to sort by ADP, especially when I'm picking at the wheel or the turn. So now that I'm picking 11th, I want to make sure that I am eyeballing if a player is going to be able to fall to me in the next round. Let me show you guys what that looks like. I'm going to dangerously change tabs as I record, even though I'm a little rusty, but we're doing it live, guys. We're picking in about 3 minutes. By the way, comedy has been going great for me. It's part of the reason why I'm doing a little less fantasy this year. Recording my special November 1st and 2nd. It'll be released on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. You'll get a link there. Stram Show. Okay, so we have got 3 more picks. What players are we comfortable with? Even though I hate Embiid with a fiery passion, if we're getting him at 11th, I'm also going to tell you guys a little bit more about my strategy for this league specifically, okay? This is a league that lets 8 teams into the playoffs. So the regular season basically doesn't matter. Seeding doesn't matter. You do not get a bye. So in a regular league, I would be really nervous about picking Embiid in the first round, and Embiid goes away, so I'm going to stop that analysis. But yeah, I think we're most happy with Trae Young. I think after Trae Young, we're looking at Donovan Mitchell, and we would walk away uncomfortable but not making excuses with Steph Curry. And we got 3 players on the board in our queue. There's 2 moves until we pick. Now, remember, we want to be looking at ADP. Just because we have Donovan Mitchell ranked ahead of Steph Curry does not mean we need to take him if Trae Young is off the board. We want to try to line this up so that the players that we want fall to us. I also don't hate Kevin Durant here, but he's the 4th. Reasoning being that we're going to most likely go for a punt field goal build, and then we're going to add – guys, I've been down on – I'm actually really high on this rookie class. And look at that. 4 players that we wanted made it here. So we're just going to go ahead and take a Trae Young that is going to be without DeJounte Murray. Stats all the way to the ceiling. The Atlanta Hawks will go as far as Trae Young is able to carry them. And in the right build, there's combinations you can make where last year's Trae Young was a top 3 player if you're punting, rebounds, blocks, field goal percentage, etc. If you quad punt, I think you could get him all the way up to 2 for us to be able to pick him at 11. He's also good enough that we haven't fully committed to a punt yet, right? His 43% field goal percentage isn't great, but you're getting a ton of assists. And we're up in 2 picks, and we have 3 players in our queue. So we're sitting here feeling extremely comfortable. It's hard for me to take James Harden here. Some of you guys were confused, I think, by the tier ranking video that we did. And when we did the tier ranking video, it wasn't about those players' absolute value, right? So if we have Kyrie ahead of Jason Tatum, that doesn't mean that we think Kyrie is better than Jason Tatum. it means that I would rather get Kyrie at 18 than Tatum at 7. That's what that means. It's the value relative to the pick. Okay. Let's see. Steph Curry goes off the board. Mitchell's probably our snap here. And then we just walk away with it. I'm always nervous because last year I probably had done 200 practice drafts, resting them. Yeah, there's no injury. You're always worried there's like an injury that happens like right before. But we're good to go, baby. We got 2 players that we like. And I would say at this point, we're committed to the punt, but we also believe enough in ourselves and some of the bigs that we have targeted, especially these rookie bigs. So let's just talk about that specifically. So I love everything that I'm seeing out of this rookie draft class. Probably Klingon goes undrafted. Edie is going to get drafted. The question is the timing. And I'm probably the lowest on SAR, actually. So of these 4 rookies that I have in my queue, I probably rank it like this. Edie number 1, Risha Shur, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, but the number 1 overall pick, Klingon, and then SAR. I do think that SAR is going to have a little bit of Jabari Smith Jr. in him this year. The Wizards have no reason not to let him go out there and be crazy. And in a build like this where you do need at least 1 center, does he have center eligibility? No, right now he only has power forward. I guess they're going to start him with Jonas. I would hope he eventually plays enough minutes that he gets center eligibility. But yeah, there's a lot of really, really good young centers that have crazy low ADPs. Okay, so our next pick is going to be all the way down at 35 and 38. So we're going to sort by ADP, and we're going to go down. And man, I highly doubt. I press X to doubt. I've seen Lauri Markkanen a couple times fall to 35. That should not happen. There's a ton of guys that we like here. Fred VanVleet is super interesting. Bane is super interesting. Ton of guys that we like here. We may have to reach for a few of them. So last year, if I go to punt categories and I pull up a punt tool, if you punted rebounds, blocks, and field goal percentage, Trae Young was the 9th best player. If you include turnovers, Trae Young was the 2nd best player, and we got him at 11. Donovan Mitchell, who we also got, was the 4th best player. So I don't want to do a quad punt, right? Turnovers are so widely variable that I like to look at assist to turnover ratio because that's going to be the difference between my team winning 5-4 or my team having a path to win 6-3. What's really interesting here is if you do the triple punt version of it, VanVleet finished 8th on the season last year. And you can get VanVleet at this 3rd round, 4th round spot, and he's a player that might even outperform. I mean, the odds are against it because he's injury prone. The Rockets have also drafted a rookie, but the beauty of punting is that you have so much concentration of stats in one category that even if a player has a bad year or a down week, your other guys more than make up for it. And now you're getting guys in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round that produce like 1st rounders or 2nd rounders. So, yeah, I think if Fred VanVleet falls here, now DeJounte Murray last year, same situation, doing a complete timeshare with Trae Young. I expect DeJounte Murray and Trae Young's fantasy value to be up this year. DeJounte Murray came in 22nd last year in the triple punt. And one of the things that DeJounte is weak on is 3-ball. And why is that so good? Well, it's good because I'm going to over-concentrate threes if I'm punting field goal percentage. I'm going to have the most threes most of the time. So for me to be able to get scoring, more assists, steals, that's going to be incredible. And there's really no competition for DeJounte Murray at that point guard role. CJ McCollum is so out of position playing point guard. We don't know what the Pelicans are going to do right now. They're starting Herb Jones at center or some version of Zion and Herb at center. Absolutely no idea if that lasts. Let me swap it back to the big board for you guys. We can kind of look at these pairings. I do hate this manager. I think it's the guy that I don't like, but I do like Tatum and Durant as a combo. Do I think both of those are the best fantasy players at that ADP? No. Wow. Someone went completely off of the reservation and picked Anthony Edwards, 1st round, 9th pick. Wow. I mean, picking Anthony Edwards in the 1st round is like marrying a 45-year-old hooker with a heart of gold. You're in for a bad time. There's no upside on that deal. At least if you marry a 25-year-old girl who's great at karaoke, she could one day be Lady Gaga or something. Or here, let me just give some explanations here. Okay. Anthony Edwards, there's no upside on this. They traded Cat. They traded Karl Anthony Towns. They didn't trade the entire team. If Anthony Edwards was playing 1-on-5 against only fictional players that Adam Sandler was managing, this would still be a bad pick. In a fictional universe where his name is, what was it? Bo Cruz? No, that was the other guy. Mario? I can't remember. I can't remember what Anthony Edwards' fake name was. Put it in the comments section. Guys, like and subscribe. It's Trash Talk basketball. It's fantasy basketball. This is a real draft. You guys are getting it for free. Nikola Jokic has been paired with Scotty Barnes and Karl Anthony Towns. And you know what? I'm not that scared. I think that's a reach for Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not afraid of that combination. I've seen much more scary teams. Wembanyama is being paired with LaMelo Ball and another guy that we're going to see in about 20 seconds. SGA goes third, and he's paired with Lillard. I do not love the SGA and Lillard pairing. These guys have different strengths. Even though they're both guards, they do not complement each other as well as you think. Ooh, Paul George. I hate that pick. Who is the second? I don't even know who the second manager is. I got to look it up. I want to talk shit about these guys specifically. I don't know how to tell. Okay. I don't know who that is. We got Giannis and LeBron James. Second round LeBron James is not great. Not great. Luka and De'Aaron Fox, that's the first combination that I think is working together. Tyrese Halliburton and Kyrie Irving. I've seen people get Kyrie later, but that's a great price point for Kyrie. Anthony Davis and Devin Booker. I just hate the Anthony Edwards team so much. Like, the more I look at this, the more hate in my heart. What's interesting is Steph Curry and James Harden have gone to the player that is picking right after us. So it is very possible that he is in the same build at us. And if that's the case, I actually like this. Let's see, guys, this is deep strategy here, okay? Let's see if we can get this man to leap 6, 7, 8 picks, if not 10 picks, to try to get his guy early because he's afraid of me sniping. And I'm going to get in his head even more. I'm saying in the chat, am I in the same build as Obed? Oh, no. I'm going to try to get in his head. Guys, why am I going to try to get in his head? Because I want to remind you of a couple things. One, in this league, the regular season does not matter at all. It doesn't matter whether you get first, second, third, fourth, fifth. 8 teams make the playoffs. As long as you're awake and not drunk, you're going to make the playoffs. So now he already reached for Harden. I think taking Harden at 13 is a reach. Steph Curry is fine there. He does have a hand injury. He's starting with 2 older players. I'm starting with 2 players with clearer roles. Let's see. Let's see if we can get him to make some bad picks and we stay best player available. Guys, we're going to be up in 3 picks. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch tabs back. I get nervous every time I do it. And let's see who's out there. Laurie goes off the board. We would have really liked Laurie. We're very happy with DeJounte Murray here. Do we ever draft Cade here? I think the answer is yes in some scenarios. How bad was Cade in this build last year? He was bad. Cade was 43rd last year. Man, it's so hard to draft Cade. I do think he's going to be better this year. I think his assists are going to skyrocket. Someone takes Cade off the board. Oh my God, it's the Anthony Edwards guy. His team sucks. This guy's like, I made one mistake, so I'm just going to triple down. This isn't 2K. This is fantasy. We're going to be really happy with DeJounte Murray, but we're also okay with Jalen Williams or Fred VanVleet. I think that the other guy's going to try to take Fred VanVleet because if he's using a we're going to leave Fred VanVleet. We're going to leave him. We're going to leave Freddie for the guy that is dueling with us. We're in dueling builds with him. We're going to take DeJounte Murray. I would bet $50 he's going to take Fred VanVleet. And then I don't know who his other pick is, but we're going to leave him. We're going to leave him Fred VanVleet. And I'm pretty sure he's just using a player rater from last year. He's not sophisticated enough to make adjustments. Guys, we're in a duel. I think he's going to grab Fred VanVleet and maybe Bane. I don't know. I don't know who his second player is going to be, but I would bet a small island that he's going to pick Fred VanVleet. And he's now going to have 3 older, injury-prone guys. We're in a similar build. We have the younger guys. Our guys are more handsome. Our guys get chicks. Fantasy Trash Talk. We have got 1, 2, 3 players that we really like in the queue. Do we ever take Kawhi here? I think not. Do we ever take Jimmy Butler here? I think sometimes in some builds, yeah, I think Jimmy's going to have a really big year. One thing Jimmy Butler really cares about is Jimmy Butler. And he's in a contract year. And I know some people say contract years aren't real. They are real to some people, especially people that care about money. Okay, Bane goes off the board. Does he go Fred VanVleet here for the next pick? Bane's a good pick. We're going to be very happy if Fred VanVleet falls to us. I don't think we'd ever take Jaren Jackson Jr. here. Jaylen Brown with a chip on his shoulder? Jalen Johnson. We would have a lot of Hawks if we did that. Jalen Johnson doesn't really benefit from anything that we're trying to do build-wise. I think it's Fred VanVleet, and then I'm trying to talk myself into Kawhi here. Kawhi is such a ridiculous risk reward. This guy's taking his entire clock to pick Fred VanVleet. Okay. We're at 38. Or do we just go best player available here? Here's where I'm struggling. Kawhi Leonard, major injury risk, plays like a first rounder. I'm probably going to pick Porzingis later, so I can't do 2 stashes. So slow. Seconds. Jalen Williams was 41st last year. I think Jalen Williams, I think he's going to be better. A little older. I think he's going to be better because Josh Giddey is gone, so the usage is going to be there. It's going to be absorbed by Jalen Williams and SGA. I don't think Hartenstein is going to take a ton of usage. Jalen Williams last year finished like right at 38, 39. We're picking him at 38. You're literally he finished 41st, and it's actually a 3-way tie. Yeah, that was a tough one, guys. It would be completely different if I had done like 100 mocks or 200 mocks, but this is like the 3rd time I've even played from the 11-12 position this year. Again, because I've been so busy. The good news is, as a comedian, you only do a special, if you're even lucky, once every 3 years or 5 years. So it'll be a long time before everything lines up again to keep me from not playing fantasy as much as I like. Also, shout out to Jake. Jake has done such an incredible job of jumping in and making content on the channel. I do, once things calm down, like probably around December, I want to start making more broad NBA stuff. Check out the Kevin Durant trade video that we did. We want to make kind of video essays like that. Also, let me know what other kind of content around basketball and the NBA you guys would like. Welcome to the draft, Jake. What are you thinking so far as you look at this board? I am on in 3 picks. Kawhi is still out there.
Yeah, so that's the first thing that comes to my mind is you're in the 5th round and Kawhi Leonard hasn't been drafted. Everybody passing over him at this point, you're just missing out on a potential first-round player in the 5th round. There's nobody else who's even close. So that's crazy. The team that took Anthony Edwards, Sabonis, Cade, and Quickly is doing his best to lose this league in the first 4 picks. So I don't know what's going on there. And actually, we get to see who he picks right now. I think it's interesting that Giannis and Luka went back-to-back 4-5, and then they both are basically punting free throws. So the 2 teams next to each other punting free throws is kind of cool. And then you picking 11 and then the team picking 12 are also doing the same build. So you got 2 sections of the draft where you guys are building the same kind of team. That's pretty fun to watch.
My bet is that he over-concentrates assists, and I'm able to have the 2nd best assist team by a mile. And this dude's going to end up with way too many threes and way too many assists because he's not going to know how to pull out. He's going to stay in it the entire time. And it's actually going to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, well, he already I guess you guys are pretty close.
I just like to shout out to how crappy Yahoo is that I can't even look at last year's stats. I don't know if that's me bugging out, if that's everyone else. Is it because I didn't pay for Diamond this year? Do I have to pay for Diamond?
I paid for Diamond. It wasn't working for me either.
That is just an absolute failure. That is like you couldn't have more of a failure when your only job is to support. Okay, here's the only question. If Kawhi is on the board here in 1 pick, do I wait to see if he falls to 62? Is there anyone that I really – because Miles Bridges and Nick Claxton, I think I'm very happy with either of these guys, and I'm going to get one of them. The real question is who does the guy – okay, so now you're the guy that's punting field goal percentage. Who do you take here at 60-61? Because this is the rough spot for this build. Kawhi is still on the board. We're just going to snap, baby. Kawhi Leonard, 59th. We took that. Was not even a decision. That was not hard at all.
Is Jared Allen still there?
Jared Allen is still out there, yeah.
Oh, I would probably take him then.
What's the thought process there?
You get a big who actually scores. He averaged 16 a game. He averaged 10 rebounds. he's not a huge shot blocker, which is why he drops
think I'm gonna
on the board. And
I'm
now
a
you
big
don't have
believer.
to be a punt field goal team.
I'm a big believer that Klingon and Edie are going to be so good, and I'm going to get them so late. And then also, I don't think these guys are going to properly value Zubac. This is not a sophisticated group of guys. There's going to be can you tell me with a straight face that you're sure that Zubac won't have a year that's just as good as Jared Allen this year?
Yeah, I don't think Zubac is as good of a player as Jared Allen, so I don't think he has the potential to average 16. I think he might average like 12 or 13.
He's just not sharing the court with Evan Mobley though. Like he's like Zubac is alone on an island for those Clippers.
I really like that Tobias Harris pick at 60. It doesn't fit his team, but it's just really good value. My problem right now is I can't see who's left, so I'm just kind of guessing based on what I'm seeing here. Who are your guys who fit your build? What's the list of guys you've got left?
I'm gonna swap over the tab so you can look at Q with me. We're picking here at 62. I don't see a natural fit. Like I don't see a guy that I love here.
I think D'Angelo Russell would be the one that fits the best. And maybe, I mean, I know he's not a good free throw shooter, but Julius Randle is another one. Like if you've gotten good enough free throws at this point, you can probably take the hit. But if you're waiting on that for later, yeah, I think it's Russell.
Oh, chat knows how much I love Nick Claxton. I actually think the answer here, man, we're on the clock. We have 1:14 to talk this through. Okay. So we got a guy over here that went Luka. Let me share this other tab. So we got a guy over here that went Luka, and he's clearly in a punt free throw. Is there another player that's clearly in a punt free throw?
Giannis.
So we got two guys that are clearly in punt free throw. Giannis' team has not gone for a big yet. I worry if I wonder if both of these guys are thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Only got 45 seconds to talk this through. Who would best player available be? Allen?
It's Jared Allen. The best player who fits your build is Russell. You can go with an upside swing in Duren, and I don't really think you have another answer here.
Last year, Allen finished 40?
I think he was 52.
He finished 45 last year in 31 minutes per game. Gives me 2. And I'm very confident that I would be able to trade him at some point in the season. I don't love taking him there. Remember how you were saying maybe take him in the previous round, 20 slots ago or 18 slots ago, whatever it was. I think we're going to trade Jared Allen. I kind of wanted to take Nick Claxton there. The reason why I didn't, I think the Cavs are going to try to. Everyone knows I'm a Nets fan. I'm biased. I'm not even going to try to hide it. It'd be pointless to try to hide it. Half of my T-shirts have Nets logos on them. The Nets do not have any intentions of competing this year, so this is not a scenario where I want to really get enamored with Nets players. I do think Claxton is going to show improvement. He's going to have a good year. But he could get shut down. Cam Thomas could get shut down for a phantom injury as the Nets go chasing Cooper Flag. Whereas the Cavaliers, I think the Cavaliers are going to be trying to get seeding throughout the entire season.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said in fantasy about having players on good teams. I've definitely seen a correlation there. If you just draft a player on the better team, he's likely to do better in fantasy, and he's likely to play, especially down the stretch.
18 picks until our next pick. I think we're going to do another time jump. All right, you never know what's going to happen on the Fantasy Trash Talk channel. I actually got one of these tards from this draft to jump on the channel. Bilal, you are the smartest of the special needs kids that is handles. I really do respect you. What do you think about this draft so far? How do you feel about your team? Tell us your team. Walk us through your picks. You're Jerry West, right?
Yes, sir. Jerry West, because I lose in the finals every year, but I appreciate the compliment. Rest in peace, Jerry West. He was a legend. So, I'm honoring him by constantly losing in the finals. But
I love that.
Yeah, I like my team, man. I think it's doing pretty good. Maybe the Brook Lopez pick was a little bit on the edge, but I was trying to go for that block specialist. And he's in a contract year. So I feel like you have a little bit of extra motivation to try to earn that next contract. But yeah, man, your team's looking nice. Except the Kawhi pick. That's kind of risky, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking what falls to me. What's really more interesting, we've been talking about as well, is Cho is I'm Still Here, aka the 12th pick. And four picks in for each of us. It looks like we're doing the exact same build. So it'll be interesting to see if we're targeting the same players as it goes. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the intervention we need to have. This is a deal, right? Motorcade?
Yes.
I'm sitting next to him. Should we bring him on?
Put him on. Put this motherfucker on. Push the TV. The fans, we have almost 4,000 subscribers. Explain yourself.
Well, explain yourself. Shit, dude. Guards, assists, steals, field goal, free throw percentage, and 3-pointers. That's what I go for every year.
No. Look, Anthony, just Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards in the first round. How do you think Anthony Edwards died? What do you think is going to happen? Tell me what's going to happen. Is he going to average 37 points a game? What do you think Anthony Edwards is going to do?
This is his fucking.
His year what?
Prove himself.
To do what?
To prove himself. He's going to be the next fucking big thing out there.
In what? In terms of commercials?
Bro, come on.
He was the 37th best player in fantasy last year in no punt. What punt do you want to put him in? I'll put him in a punt real quick. Like his best punt? You want me to put him in his best punt?
Yeah, what is it? Show us.
Well, punt, turnovers, blocks, field goal.
Did you win last year? You didn't, right?
No, that doesn't have anything to do with it.
You didn't win against the Cards, right? What?
I didn't win last year, and you're not going to win this year with this pick. I just want you to explain.
I'm not going to listen to you.
Anthony Edwards.
Listen to Mr. Champ over here that's in front of me.
Champ is here.
Someone doesn't care about you. If someone told you to do this, they lied to you. What's up, Roth?
Oh, what's up, Jacob?
Hey, what's up,
How you
Rob?
been?
Just watching you guys draft. I'm not even drafting. I'm just watching.
Roth,
so much of a
you
junkie
told
I am.
a deal. You told a deal to take Anthony Edwards in the 9th.
No one told me to take Anthony Edwards.
I didn't know who he was in.
Obviously, no one told you to do that. Cares about you. No, I mean, I'm your competitor for the integrity of the league. I feel like this league already looks
I love it.
like a
I love
clown
it. Bring it on,
college.
baby. Talk more shit.
What about Cade? Cade in the 4th.
Third.
He did his
Third, isn't it third?
Cade in the 3rd?
Yes.
It's Cade in the third.
He did it again.
Where did you finish?
When are you?
Pennies last year?
I did not.
Oh man.
I was trying so hard to like say something nice about Cade in the draft video. I was like, you know what, guys, I've been hard on Cade in the past. I think this is a good year for him. If you're getting him in the 4th, he could return. And he picks him in the 3rd. It's like, don't make me hate Cade.
He was third last year too, bro.
Josh, scroll
And-
the
and how did
screen
that
down.
work?
I can't see what's happening in the next round.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, bro. I was going to go with.
What do you think of your team, Josh?
I'm kind of just letting it happen. Like my biggest goal in this draft is to just not reach. And I think that this league is a taco league where 8 teams make the playoffs. So the team I draft, and we saw this the last 2 years, the team I draft is not going to be the team I enter the playoffs with. So I'm much less worried about build, and I'm just taking the player that I think is the best player there.
Brings
And
the
then I
most
plan on
value.
probably doing 20 trades this year or something like
Cool.
that.
Now help your viewers out. Who should they pick in a situation like mine? I need some scoring here, right? So we got.
Yeah, so you're on the clock. Have you done a build? Have you thought about it?
Yeah,
at
I mean,
all?
I'm kind of going for kind of best available, but I am maybe a little bit short on the scoring side. So trying to
I
think
mean,
of.
you know, I like Cam Thomas a lot. I think he's going to have a really good year. The concern is the Nets tanking. We
Yeah.
talked about that earlier in the segment.
His field goals are
But
kind of.
he's going to give you a smooth 25 points per game out of that spot. Simons is the other big scorer that's there, and it's kind of a similar situation to the Nets. Like Simons is going to give you 23, 25 points per game, easy, ton of threes. Neither of these guys are going to be on contenders. Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough being on
I
the
think
clock.
it's probably going to be Simons on my side.
Yeah,
I
I don't think that's a bad pick at all.
Yep.
Yeah, if he's the only scorer left, then go.
Cool.
Bad for me. Yikes.
It's a little bit.
Who else is in this house?
more than 40 games.
It's his turn to do it.
Who else is in the house? Who wants to do a segment talking about their team?
That's it. It's just the 3 of us.
Okay. All right. Roth, does Rafi want to explain his draft for us?
No.
All right, let's go. I'm going to put him on right now.
All right, let's see.
All right.
All right, first pick, I went with Jokic. It's either Jokic or Wemby. I think Jokic I can build better around. Then I got Scotty Barnes in the late 2nd round. I like that pick. Karl Anthony Towns, 3rd round. I think he's going to have a great season. And you got, people like Derek White. He'll do a little bit of everything. I just got CJ McCollum right now, Franz Wagner, Michael Porter Jr. I think is going to have a great season. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I think overall, my build it's pretty good. Field goals, close to 50%. Free throws, I believe, more than 83%. Threes, points, steals, assists, back-to-back, baby, incoming.
Yeah. I think you did work. It's hard to mess up the 1st round pick, and I don't think that you did that at all. I think that you have a really good team. Joker's a monster out there. I feel like you understood that you just got to put solid players around Joker. You don't need to do anything crazy, and that's a pretty formidable team.
I mean, it was tough though between him and Wemby.
Yeah, so walk me through your thought process. Did you really waver? Was it Joker all the way? Like what? I know you were talking about trading that pick at some point.
Yeah. So I mean, I asked around a few members in the league. I mean, everyone pretty much they said Jokic. My heart said Jokic. I mean, if I were to draft Wemby, it'd be something different than what I do previous years. I would pretty much be going after rebounds and blocks. If I were to go Wemby, I was thinking of getting Chet in the second. But I was like, if he gets taken, then I'm kind of screwed. So I think the safer pick for me was Jokic.
I like it.
Thank you for you guys for your time. You guys will see me in about 8 months with another championship.
All right. See you guys later. Bilal, any commentary that you want to add before you go back to our analysis?
Yeah, man. I mean, I never want to speak too soon, but I think a lot of people did make some questionable picks.
Yeah, that's
pretty early. I was, when I saw that, I was like, yes, that means I'm going to get to my guy. So, go ahead.
Who's Frisco Revenge? What manager is that?
I think that's Fresh Albert.
Okay.
What do you think of his
the
team?
Claxton pick. I hate the Mikal Bridges pick. I think the Knicks have just too many players for Bridges to.
A little bit crowded. Solid. I think the biggest thing about Bridges is that you can count on him playing.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it comes.
Yeah,
down
and
to.
I hate the Paulo Banchero pick in the third as well. I feel like that's a real reach. I'm not saying Paulo couldn't return that, but everything has to go exactly right for that to happen. And the Magic have a nice squad. They just added KCP. That's another team where I feel like it's similar to Mikal Bridges. Like there's just a lot of mouths to feed on that team.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty crowded down there.
I mean, he was really fortunate to get Luka fifth. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
He might be one of the three best players. Like there's a chance he's better than Wemby this year. I wouldn't be surprised. And he got him fifth, and he kind of messed it up. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting excited. He might have fallen to me at 6, but he took him right before me. I actually had another pick lined up. I was going to take D'Lo, and he went 2 picks before me. That was where I was going to get my scoring from. But I kind of went Simons instead. I'm not super excited about him just because this field goal is, it's really bad. Let's be honest, like 43%. But, there's some guys in the league who really like him, and, I'll try to dangle him and try to get a trade out of it for something that'll benefit my team.
Yeah, he's also had some trouble staying healthy. But when he plays, he's going to average, 23, 25 points a game.
Yes, sir. So I'll probably try to sell him as a sell high.
I am on the clock here just talking to the people at home. I'm looking at Cam Thomas and Jalen Green. And, I don't love either pick, to be honest. It would be such blasphemy for me to not go, man, okay, so I'm going to go Jalen Green. Wow, what's happening here?
I mean, he fits your team because it looks like you're punting field goal, essentially.
I'm picking next.
And you took Rafe's pick. Yeah. He's a little bit reacting to that.
I am so concerned that the Nets are going to go out of their way to be bad this year. And I think Cam is going to – Cam Thomas could average, literally, I'm not exaggerating, 35 points per game for 6 weeks. And if he's doing that well, I just don't think the Nets are going to let him play the full season. So
right.
It's just tough. It's really tough.
But he's also he's not a winning player. So even if he's averaging 35, they might still be losing.
I'm not sure that he's not a winning player. I don't know where that narrative came from. When he scores 40 points a game, which he had a record for a player his age of 3 consecutive 40-point games. They won 2 of those games, and the rest of the players were G League players because Durant was hurt and Kyrie was hurt. He can't do everything. He's not a top 20 player in the NBA, but he scores efficiently. And as long as he can be a slightly below average defensive player, he's not going to be the reason the Nets lose games. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Nets are so bad they can let him score 40 points a game and still lose. But yeah, I mean, I'm a Nets player. I've been one of the biggest Cam Thomas boosters, and I'm scared of drafting him. Whereas I think the Rockets are hungry. The Rockets are going to be on a mission to make the playoffs, and Jalen Green is going to be in an important role for that team. I mean, he's that team's number 1 scoring option. And, you have Van Fleet and you have Sengun on that team, but neither of those guys can score in the same way. And Jalen Green had a really strong finish to the year. So, we're picking, what was that, 83? I don't love either pick. Like I'm not. It's not like I'm excited to get Jalen Green at whatever it was, 83.
I would
86.
take Cam Thomas over Jalen Green. I'm actually worried about Jalen Green's playing time. I think Reed Shepard is going to show that he's almost as good, if not better, than Jalen Green pretty soon. And Amin Thompson is back there too. And they got Van Vliet. They're just a really deep team. So there might be nights where like Jalen Green doesn't have it and he doesn't even play in the.
I mean, Green played 31 minutes a game last year, and Fred Van Fleet played. I'm looking it up. 36.8 minutes per game, and he played 70. He played 73 games. Wow. Van Fleet played 73 games. So I feel like Van Fleet is an injury risk. He's a slightly older player. I feel like there's more of a chance that Reed Shepard ends up cutting into Van Fleet than Jalen Green. And that's why I've kind of faded Van Fleet. Like I'm not as high on Van Fleet this year as I have been in previous years. One, because of the nagging injuries on a smaller player, but two, Reed Shepard is the real deal. And I think he's much more of a point guard than a shooting guard as a rookie.
What do you think about Ben Simmons? Are you going to take him?
It doesn't fit my build. Not really what I'm trying to do here.
That's the first time I've heard you say it.
Wow. Yeah.
Cam Thomas goes 89th to this is the year. This is the year has Embiid, Holmgren. I really love Lauri Markkanen in the third round. DeRozan, Brandon Miller, Austin Reeves. I love a lot less.
Right?
That's my third straight year having him. Took Herb Jones. He's my guy. I love Herb.
He's a good player. All right, we're going to do another time jump. All right, we are up in 2 picks, and we're currently looking at Walker Kessler. We're going to be really happy if we get him at 107. So we're going to see what happens with that. But we have 5 players in the queue, so we're not going to be upset no matter what happens. Remember, guys, keep your queue loaded. Now, I would say so you're not stressed out. This draft is a slow draft for slow kids. 1:15 for each pick. It's enough time to make a grilled cheese sandwich, take it to your cousin who really loves grilled cheeses.
How far does your cousin live?
It could be in Guadalajara, which is where I am actually.
I want that plane. That's a fast plane.
RJ Barrett. Hey, who is aware of what's going on with RJ Barrett right now? With the scandal about the gay prostitute.
Maybe that'll make him play better.
Maybe. His back is against the wall. Our pick is next. Walker Kessler is still out there. We're going to be pretty happy if he falls.
In my auctions that I've been doing, Jeremy Grant goes for like $2 and Walker Kessler's been going for like $12.
Oh no, someone picked. Who picked Walker Kessler?
Your boy picked him.
What's hilarious is I didn't want Walker Kessler at all.
Walker Kessler.
Oh my God. I figured one of you guys would text him. I had no interest in Walker Kessler. The real player that I want is Yusuf Nurkic.
If you change your averages to 23, 24 23, 24 average stats, does it show blank?
Yeah.
It shows blank and it tries to crash me out of the app whenever I whenever I use the standings. So we're doing this blind, guys. We're doing this raw. We are tough. Doing to this.
And also you can't like move players up and down your queue.
I won't let me like I can do that.
Okay. Well, do you think it could be the Wizard extension that's doing this, or do you think it's just all of Yahoo?
Yeah, I think it's all Yahoo. The Wizard extension should have no code running on the draft page.
It's weird watching a draft and not seeing who's available. I really have no idea what's going to happen.
I could switch to my tab, but we would have to kick out Bilal and his household because then you guys would see my real queue.
Yeah. Man, it doesn't matter to me either way.
No, it's okay. I don't really care. All right, actually, here, how do I kick him off? Yeah, Bilal, hop off. See you guys.
Right.
Yeah, I had no interest in Walker Kessler. I figured that one of them would try to do it as like a prank. I really wanted Terry Rozier and Kristaps Porzingis here, but I'm actually torn because I really like Zubac as well. And I think that getting these guys at 110, it's like whoever I'm picking here is just going to be massive.
I don't think you're going to go wrong with Zubac, or I guess Porzingis you could go wrong just because we have no idea when he's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zubac is pretty solid.
Very solid here. I'm going to go Zubac. I also feel like in the small way, Zoo is kind of like a hedge with Kawhi because I think he'll pick up an extra like 3 or 4 points per game when Kawhi's out.
The Clippers are going to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't really, people aren't talking about that, but like they lost Paul George for nothing. They added like just random wing players who are kind of fill-ins, like what's the name, Derek Jones Jr. And when Kawhi doesn't play, it's the Harden show. Like, really, is that going to win basketball games?
Mm-hmm.
I bet on the Clippers under this year. I put a bunch of money.
They don't. I don't even know. Do they own their own draft pick? I don't think so.
They do not. They don't own their own draft pick for like 4 more years.
Damn. So they're in a new arena. They're going to do everything they can to try to put some.
Well, they're not going to try to lose. They're just not going to be good.
I like how I jokingly said Yusuf Nurkic, and the guy that I don't like picked him. That's hilarious. It's tough to own Nurk, dude. That's a big injury risk.
He played like 77 games last year, so there's no way he does.
0%. We've got picks like Cam Johnson, Klay Thompson, Colin Sexton. To me, it looks like the other guy that was doing the same build as me, he overcommitted to it. Yahoo won't let me pull up the projections thing, so I can't look at it. But I would wager that this guy is number 1 in 3-point made and assists by a fat mile. Maybe not
even
assists,
with Hartenstein, yeah,
3-point made for sure. Yeah, he's got Steph Curry and he's got Klay Thompson.
Cam
Johnson.
Why would he take Harden?
Maybe he thought it was best player available and he's going to have trade value. Maybe he thought he needed a center. I don't know. It's a weird singular. It's a weird singular outlier of not doing the plan. I love Kobe White here. This is my probably the best value pick I feel like I got in this draft.
There goes Zach Edey.
Oh damn, who got him?
I think Zubats will be better than Zach Edey though, so I don't mind you taking.
I really wanted Edey, and the guy who got Edey got Sengun in the 3rd, Randall in the 6th, Poole in the 7th, RJ Barrett. It's a weird draft.
Yeah, I don't understand taking Poole and then Pirtle. Like they don't have it just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, another rookie. Sar just went off the board. They're grabbing the rookies earlier than I gave them credit for. Damn. All right. Well, that part of my plan did not work out.
There's still some rookies left.
Yeah, we got Rishashar and Klingon are still out there.
Klingon, I'm worried about his playing time early in the season. I think maybe late in the season he's going to be good. So my guess is that he gets drafted in a lot of leagues. He gets cut early-ish season, and then somebody adds him in like February, and he's awesome from because they have Ayton and they also have Rob Williams.
The other guys aren't on, so I can share my real tab. Trying to rebuild my queue. Now, I wish I had gotten Edey in the last round. I ended up with 0 of Edey and Porzingis, and I wanted
better.
Yeah, I agree. I just also wanted Edey. I just feel like Edey's going to smash his ADP. Maybe I should have. I think Terry Rozier's going to smash that ADP too. I got him like outside of 100. That's
Miami
tough.
is so confusing to me. I don't understand. They have Rozier and Hero in the backcourt. It doesn't make any sense. And then Jimmy and I don't know what that team is.
Mm-hmm. Who's the white kid for Portland that I like a lot? Is he gone already? Oh, Gary Trent Jr. is still out there. Denny's gone. Man, I like Dante DiVincenzo a lot.
Mark Williams might start at the beginning of the season. We just have no idea. So him falling this far, I think he's a no-brainer pick for you. I think Derek Lively, the same thing. I think Amin Thompson, the same thing. I would take one of those 3 guys if they fall.
I mean, damn, what about Clint?
Is this the year that he stops starting? I don't know.
Everyone keeps saying. I really don't like Al Horford in this league for the same reason that I like Al Horford in other leagues and like leagues that are like really competitive. I have 3 picks left. I can't see myself getting Ben Simmons. I think he could have a good first month or 2 of the season.
Yeah, Horford's tough when you don't have a lot of. I like Trace Jackson.
So Mark Williams, we have him in the 1 slot. I like Josh Hart a lot here too. The Knicks are
He's just not going to score.
Yeah, we're in the dregs of it now. Dennis Schroeder could be sneaky value and also traded. Ooh, KCP is still out there.
I like Koulibaly.
KCP is like. Isn't KCP like just you're picking like after 130? So for me, I have it Williams, Rishashar, and Klingon is how I have it ranked. I don't know if you can see
I would put Lively ahead of Klingon just because I think he's guaranteed 24 minutes and Klingon's not.
And then if something happens to Gafford, what is Mark Williams' prognosis? Have they just not even given it?
He's out of his walking boot.
So it was an ankle injury? It was an ankle injury? I thought it was just like his hamstring.
I don't know. I know he was in a walking boot. I don't know what the injury was.
My internet's not working. Can you look up what the prognosis is for that? It's not letting me search.
Strained tendon in his left foot.
They did this last year though, where he was day to day for like the entire season.
Yeah, but that was his back. Something else.
Okay. I mean, I think we're just going to pick Mark Williams if he survives. In this league, it's not much of a gamble because while there's only 2 IR slots, we don't have a full stash. I guess you could argue Kawhi is a full stash if Kawhi doesn't start the season. But we don't have a stash player yet on our team. Let me make sure of that. I don't want to be a liar. But yeah, we don't have a player starting the season hurt except probably Kawhi. So this is our first true stash. That's going to let us We might even get Klingon undrafted. Like once they open up the free agent queue, I might be able to put Mark Williams and get an extra draft.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Klingon's probably
all right.
somebody
Mark
who-
Williams is there, so we're
drafted.
going to go ahead and we're going to not be too fancy at 133. We're going to take Mark Williams and then just wait for him to eventually get healthy. Lively at 134.
How many centers?
Feels like a lot. Feels like too many. I have Zubak, a stashed Mark Williams, and I have Jared Allen. I have no power forward. No, I have
Well,
guys that
J Dub and Kawhi can play. But then do you have any small forwards?
I have
No.
two. Well, J Dub and Kawhi.
Right, but so they're basically filling up those spots, and you have nobody else who can play forward. So you probably need somebody
Rishashar.
either power forward or small forward eligible.
Rishashar is small forward eligible, so that makes another case for him. Clowney has small forward, power forward, center right.
Yeah, I don't really.
Ooh, do I go Mitch Rob for a second stash and just be an 8 or 9 seed until?
No, he's not. But he's not playing this year, like this calendar year.
It doesn't really matter when 8 teams make the playoffs. The logic in this league is so low. I feel like this isn't compelling at this point, so I'm just going to turn the video off and then go right to that. All right, 2 hours later, it's our turn to draft. Last pick, we take Gary Trent Jr., leaving one more pick for someone else. All right, guys, let's look at this draft and how it shook out. Our team ended up being over here in the 11th spot. Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, Jalen Williams, Kawhi Leonard in the 5th, end of the 5th too. Jared Allen, Kobe White, Jalen Green, Terry Rozier, Zubac, Mark Williams, Rishashar, Gary Trent Jr. I'm not upset with any pick. I feel like we never reached. Maybe there's an argument that Rishashar was a reach in the 12th, but it doesn't really feel like it. We're going to make some trades. We're going to have some stashes. The Joker team is really strong, made solid picks all the way through. The Wemby team, really strong. Maybe Keontae George was a reach. Ben Simmons is kind of for the memes, but he could be good for 2 months. Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you made it this far. I love you. Fantasy Trash Talk out.